Kicks off in just a few moments' time. Welcome to the Santiago Bernabeu. It's the biggest game in Spanish football, the biggest game in European football. What am I saying? It's the biggest game in world football, the Clásico. Real Madrid in second place, Football Club Barcelona, leaders of La Liga Santander, all set here in the magnificent Santiago Bernabeu for what should be a celebration of all things good in Spanish football. Football Club Barcelona leading La Liga by 2 points over their internal rival Real Madrid. Both sides, plenty of question marks around them this season. Real Madrid haven't enjoyed much success in their last 2 home games here in the Bernabeu. Will Barcelona be able to take advantage of that? Sitting alongside me up here in the commentary box in the Bernabeu, Michael Laudrup, a legend of both clubs, former player with Johan Cruyff's Football Club Barcelona and Real Madrid, and Graham Hunter, as always, at my side. Michael, there isn't a bigger game tonight on the planet than Real Madrid-Barcelona.
No, for me, this is the biggest game of them all. No, it's when you know a little about the story, not only about the clubs, but also the story of this country, of Catalonia, Madrid, then this is the biggest game on earth. At least for clubs. Yeah, no question in terms of club level. A very diplomatic answer as well. Obviously, we won't expect you to pick sides tonight. Graham Hunter, there's been lots of talk in the build-up to this game tonight over the way both managers would select their starting 11s. 1 or 2 surprises, perhaps, for you, for both sides tonight?
A little bit. This is the visitors are a club whose modern legend, including when Michael was playing there, was built upon 4-3-3. We've got Quique Setién brought to the club, in theory, taking away Ernesto Valverde, who was winning, to bring back a kind of Cruyff idea. He's the #1 follower of the Cruyff doctrine in La Liga today. So when Quique Setién comes to his first Clásico and it's not 4-3-3, yes, it's a surprise.
Michael, we're seeing images of both teams in the tunnel. How are they feeling right now?
You know, it's the few moments before you come out. Sorry, there's a lot of noise here. You just want to go out. You're a little nervous, but you just want to go out and get started.
Well, the players following tonight's match referee, Mr. Antonio Miguel Mateo Laoz. We'll talk about him, as we usually do, a little bit later once the game is underway. They follow him out onto the pitch, both sides applauding. The fans here, Real Madrid's applause, greeted with applause. Barcelona's applauding the fans. Received with a certain icy silence, although silence, Graham, isn't really the word to use tonight.
This is a fantastic moment where the pageantry of this stadium, this fantastic historic stadium, is drawing your eye away from the players. We struggle together is the Fondo Sur's banner there. To our left, you hear Hala Madrid, the hymn. The Barca fans away to Michael's right are singing, you can't see them. And here's the lineup, Simon.
Here's the lineup for Real Madrid. No huge surprise in goal. It's Thibaut Courtois at the back, Carvajal, Varane, Ramos and Marcelo. Casemiro, Valverde, Cruz and Isco in midfield. Benzema and Vinicius up front on the bench. Areola, Militao, Modric, Bale, Lucas, Mendy, Mariano, Graham, Michael, Marcelo, a left back. Does that surprise you?
Well, maybe a little surprised, but then when we saw the 2 lineups with the 4 midfielders, I think Zidane thinks, okay, Barcelona is playing with 4. That means he will not have an attacking player against him. So we can attack a little more on that side. That's why I put Marcelo instead of Mendy.
Leo Messi and Sergio Ramos, Graham, greeting each other and the match officials. They know each other very well on the pitch, don't they?
We were lucky at La Liga Television to have a really good interview with Sergio Ramos during the week that we've been playing out on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. He said, yeah, I've got lots of respect for him. But it's not just Messi that he's against. We're about to see the Barcelona team as well now.
We are about to see the Barca lineup. Just listen to the Santiago Bernabeu sing. Spectacular atmosphere here today. We'll fill you in on the Barca lineup. It's Ter Stegen in goal, Semedo, Piqué, Umtiti, Alba at the back, Busquets, De Jong, Artur and Vidal in midfield, with Messi and Griezmann up front. On the bench, Neto, Rakitic, Langley, Braithwaite, Junior Firpo, Ansu Fati, Alex Collado, the 20-year-old. What an experience for him on the bench for the Clásico. Karim Benzema of Real Madrid standing over the ball in the centre spot is going to get it underway. Both teams in their first choice, world-famous colours. Madrid attacking the goal to the right of your screens. A first touch for Sergio Ramos, and the ball returned to his feet by Marcelo. A lot of eyes will be looking at the performance of the Brazilian right-back today. Casemiro miscuing it, but collected by Cruz and played wide to Marcelo. And here's Vinicius Junior, one of the players guaranteed to get the fans in the Bernabeu up on their feet. Cruz inside to Casemiro, Ramos returning it to the German. And here's Isco, leaves it for Vinicius. Lovely, intelligent ball wide from Vinicius. Isco taking on Semedo and wins a corner. 50 seconds on the clock, and Real Madrid with the early pressure. It's played quickly and short, and a good response from Arturo Vidal, Graham.
Michael will tell you, you stay awake, find the dope is what caught Barcelona out to Anfield at a corner kick. They were asleep there. Madrid for months have been taking quick corners. No punishment, but they have to waken up, Barcelona.
If there was one player in the Barca shirt awake for that, it was Arturo Vidal. That one cleared by Artur. First touch for Messi. It's a lovely ball for Frenkie de Jong. Masses of space for him, but he's forced to turn back. Casemiro with the pressure. Artur finding Messi. De Jong again. And De Jong gives Gerard Piqué his first touch, and the levels, the decibel levels rising in the Bernabeu. Artur, Semedo, looking for Griezmann. Griezmann returns it to Semedo, lovely ball in. Well defended by Casemiro. Still Barca insisting. Here's De Jong. Messi returns it to De Jong. Turns away from Isco. Busquets. De Jong again. Valverde with a crunching challenge. The Bernabeu fans enjoyed that one.
Simon, they got a bit lucky. De Jong ignored Alba. Alba was high up. If the breakaway had succeeded, there was no left back.
Artur. Busquets. Artur to Vidal.
No,
Semedo.
We can see Madrid is trying to put pressure now, but it's and they can do it today with this referee, because he will always allow.
He does allow physical play, Matera. We often call him a more English-style referee. He likes that. Have conversation with the players to explain his decisions. Top-class referee, however. Lovely skills from Sergio Busquets. Semedo on the ball. Messi dropping back, asking for it, getting it. Here's Piqué again. Barcelona looking comfortable in these early minutes. It's a good press from Carvajal. Turns away from the pressure from De Jong, finds Isco. And here's captain Sergio Ramos. Picks out Marcelo. He may be criticised for his defensive abilities, but no one questions what he can do, Simon, on the attack.
Last time we saw Valverde this high and right was in the derby against Atleti. Didn't work, but Zidane is trying his hardest to have three up front at all times, even when Benzema drops. Isco and Valverde.
First test for Jordi Alba, back from injury, having to deal with the pace of Valverde. In the end, it's cleared by Ter Stegen. Vidal did well. Griezmann on the ball. He finds De Jong. De De Jong looking around, forced to play it back to Jordi Alba, who dealt well with that first taste of the pace of Valverde. Semedo looking for Messi, only finding Ramos, who's quick to release it to Toni Kroos. Vinicius Jr. It's going to be a tough night for Semedo if Vinicius builds his confidence up. The throw given to Barcelona. There's Gerard Piqué on the ball. De Jong returning it to the Barca number 3, and now it's Ter Stegen. Isco and Benzema go into press. Ter Stegen plays it out to Artur. Now Semedo. Artur again. Failing to link with Artur Vidal, and it's a throw.
Against both of the teams, you can press high, because we talked about it before the game. Because there's not so much pace. Okay, you have Vinicius, but both the teams, they could, if they wanted to, they could press higher up.
Apart from Vinicius, I think we'll be saying that a lot. It's a relatively tranquil start to the game here. Carvajal finds Valverde, turns it to Casemiro. He spots the arrival of Marcelo down the left. Marcelo to Vinicius. Vinicius cross is blocked, and it comes off Gerard Piqué for a corner for Real Madrid.
It's a corner now. Barcelona alert for the moment. I thought it was really interesting that they gave Ter Stegen 2 minutes ago a little bit of time in the ball and then scissor pressed him.
Corner taken quickly again. Marcelo whips the cross in. Semedo got his head to it, falls to Benzema from the edge of the area on the volley, narrowly too high. Again, Ter Stegen plays the short goal kick to Gerard Piqué. Artur Melo. Vidal finds Messi. Messi to Semedo, crosses the halfway line. Messi again. Busquets. There's Alba. Titi.
I think Real Madrid is okay that Messi gets the ball on his own half. They know exactly where the dangerous part is.
Ramos there intercepting from Vidal. Vidal turns round and raises his arm in disappointment. Carvajal looking to link with Benzema. Titi with the interception. Busquets finding De Jong. And Busquets wins the throw-in for Barcelona.
Just down, I'm sure Bruno will confirm this. Eder Sarabia out giving Semedo a real tongue lashing about what he wants the fullback to, pardon me, Titi a tongue lashing about what he wants the centre-back to do.
Absolutely, that's right, Graham. Eder Sarabia always sprinting out. He's a trusted assistant coach to Quique Setién, and they take it in turns to get messages across. But as you say, he was getting his message across there to Samuel Titi.
Messi finally Jordi Alba back to Frenkie de Jong. At walking pace, Barcelona, it's Titi. Busquets pointing in the direction of Gerard Piqué, who gets it back from Arturo Vidal. Vidal now finds Busquets, first time to De Jong, just failing to get the contact he wanted with the back heel flick towards Alba. Fede Valverde was there. Benzema to Valverde. Valverde gets beyond Titi. Intelligent ball into Isco, who gets away from Artur. And play on. The home fans unhappy that Busquets not penalised for that. Messi on the ball. He's got options here. De Jong. Messi had options, but Griezmann, little flick back. Messi's cross to the far post. And that will go directly out. No, Marcelo will keep the ball in play if he chooses to. Returns it to his captain, Sergio Ramos. Kroos to Carvajal. Kroos again, picks out Marcelo this time. Again, it's Toni Kroos. One of the players left out in the clash midweek against Manchester City in the Champions League is Dani Carvajal. Return to him from Benzema. It's sharp from Real Madrid at the moment. Kroos doesn't hesitate, picks out Vinicius. Marcelo outside him. Marcelo cuts it back, it's blocked. And
this is where Barcelona lack the 4-3-3, because when Marcelo is the overlap, okay, it's dangerous, but Ter Stegen's distribution, Simon, is really quick, and he was looking to see if he could put the ball in behind where the Brazilian should have been, and he couldn't.
Piqué to play the ball out. Semedo goes down, and it's a free kick and a yellow card. First yellow of the game for Vinicius Junior. Vinicius looks round, disappointed. Bruno, first yellow, the reaction from Zinedine Zidane, who seems to be returning to the dugout.
Yeah, disappointed look on Zinedine Zidane's face as he returned to the dugout to speak to his assistant coach. He's been calm throughout the start of the game, has Zidane, but he turned around not too happy with that decision and that booking for his Brazilian striker.
It's a very early yellow, Graham, for Vinicius, and that won't help him to feel comfortable out there, surely. No,
he may feel a little bit recalcitrant about having moaned about referees during the midweek, said they always blow against us, and both of you have pointed out that Mateo Laws, he's a terrific referee, but he tends to be very permissive, so yeah, eyebrows will be raised at that.
I think it's the first foul he's given in the opening 10 minutes of the game, and it's a yellow card. Courtois finds Ramos. Can't get beyond Arturo.
Yeah, we can see now. Barcelona again going to pressure higher.
Here is Vinicius taking on Semedo, gets outside him, whips the cross in, too firm for Benzema, who sprints to try and keep the ball in play and does so. Valverde showing strength and imagination there. There's Carvajal, the cross in towards Isco, headed away by Gerard Piqué. Busquets looking very, very calm indeed. A firm challenge from Valverde. Look at the way the ball came back with backspin there.
The way you play your golf shots into the green. The roar is really good, because the pick-off of Busquets, who was a little bit short in his pass, it was not that Arturo was dozing, the ball was a little bit short. And Valverde's role, although he's a tremendously creative footballer, is to harass, to bite at the ankle of Barcelona players if the ball is short, hence the big roar around the Bernabeu, who want to believe. It's quite quiet at the moment, I have to say, for this citadel of football.
Ter Stegen again taking his time. Isco goes in to have a look. Ter Stegen finding Busquets. Now Titi. Ter Stegen again. Graham, you were expecting Madrid to make this kind of thing very, very difficult for Ter Stegen tonight.
I agree, there's two ways to look at it. So they reckon, teams that don't press him high reckon that if he's forced to kick long and they cover everybody else, all the passing options, they reckon that they'll win first ball or second ball if it's in air. And Griezmann doesn't do what Suarez did, which is either win it aerially or drop and give a passing channel for Stegen. So at the moment, Real Madrid have won their bet, but boy, do I expect it to be all night they don't press him, Simon? No, I don't expect that.
Alba returning the ball to Samuel Umtiti. And now Ter Stegen. Look where Ter Stegen's receiving it. Finds Gerard Piqué.
It's still a little game of chess, huh?
Yeah. Certainly is. Busquets there sweeping it away. Benzema, lovely first touch to Vinicius. He flicks it back to Marcelo, drives the cross in. Isco knocks it down. Would not quite fall for Karim Benzema. There's a quick ball out. And despite Griezmann's best efforts, Thibaut Courtois there. Carvajal inside to Valverde. Isco, Valverde again. Here's Carvajal. Isco once more. Toni Kroos, Marcelo. Back to Kroos. Well, I think the fans thought he was going to shoot. He tried to play it in to Isco, and Barcelona get it away. Griezmann to Frenkie de Jong. Griezmann again. Jordi Alba. Titi, Benzema, putting the pressure on him. He returns it to Ter Stegen. Look at Benzema going in. Ter Stegen plays it long. Vidal gets flattened by Casemiro. Play waved on. Marcelo finding Vinicius. Vinicius turning Semedo. There's Cruz. There's the first opportunity of the game.
Yeah.
The German's hand goes to his head, but that was a chance.
I was just going to tell after 15 minutes, but now we saw the first chance because a lot of play in the middle. But it's normal again because both teams, they come to this game not at their best. But I was just going to say, yes, a lot of play in the middle, but still no chances. Now, at least we're coming closer.
And Simon, I talked beforehand about Vinicius. And okay, sometimes maybe I overblow him. But I said he's been given tuition by Zidane. In this instance, he cut in, head up, looked for Cruz. The fault that it wasn't a goal was of the Germans, not of the Brazilians. This kid is learning.
Frenkie de Jong for Barcelona finds Gerard Piqué. Messi, Piqué again. Piqué looking for Alba, but Carvajal gets there first. Valverde so sharp to look for an opportunity to set Carvajal free. Carvajal acknowledges that, but it is a Barcelona throw. Samuel Umtiti looking for Griezmann. Varane got there first. Ramos quickly playing the ball out to Marcelo. He in turn finds Benzema. Benzema to Vinicius. Madrid starting to turn it on here, but that's well defended by Nelson Semedo. And Madrid starting to just about get the upper hand.
But Simon, look at that. Barca playing 4 men in midfield. When Artur makes space and runs forward, nobody's showing for him. No easy pass for him at all there. That seemed to me to be absolutely, counterintuitive that they packed the midfield, but Artur had no passing option.
Here's Jordi Alba. De Jong returning it to Barcelona's returning fullback. Here's Piqué. Leo Messi. Quiet so far from the Argentine genius. Umtiti. Alba. Griezmann. Well, De Jong's return ball's good. It's brilliantly defended by Rafael Varane. First time Barcelona have actually got the ball into the Real Madrid area with some signs or sense of danger.
And also first time they play on one touch, because when everybody wants to take 2 or 3 or 4 touches, it's very difficult. Here we played one, they played on one touch, and the 1-2, and almost they create a chance.
As we see there, Griezmann's touch on and De Jong's return ball, and it's a combination of Ramos and Varane who frustrate Barcelona's number 17. Jordi Alba. Gerard Piqué. Artur. Messi again. Again, Michael, as you commented early on, Madrid won't mind Messi getting the ball there, although he does fire one in towards the head of Alba, who's not happy with the challenge from Carvajal. Carvajal equally unhappy with Alba. Words and more exchanged, and Mateo off with a yellow card for both fullbacks.
Actually, yeah, surprised there. Normally, Mateo Larose, he always let go until,
absolutely,
especially the first 45 minutes. Then sometimes he starts in the second half. But
honestly, I don't see what Alba did. Between them, there were some words. Carvajal was stupid to raise his hand, and that was Mateo's cue for the card. Why it was 2 cards? I'm a little bit bemused.
2 cards for Real Madrid, 1 for Barcelona, Jordi Alba and Dani Carvajal.
And nothing really happened, let's be honest. Nothing happened. The problem is that then after 55, 60 minutes, one of these 2, they make a foul, it's out, and then you change the whole picture of the game.
Vinicius Jr., the 3rd player out there on a yellow. Mateo off, showing his facet, his disciplinarian facet. Here's Artur Melo, lovely turn. Semedo with him. It's forced wide by Casemiro. who appear to bundle him over. The referee waves play on. There's a stretch for Toni Kroos. And this time a free kick given in.
I'll tell you something, if the man to our right was playing down the right there for either of these sides and he'd been taken down in that fashion, he'd have said, referee, that's a foul. And yet, for nothing, 2 cards on the left, over on the right, a foul, let go. I don't understand it.
Dani Carvajal for Real Madrid finds his captain, Sergio Ramos. Back to Thibaut Courtois. Hasn't had too much to do so far, the Belgian. Kroos to Varane. Problems for Courtois. Griezmann's pressure nearly causing the Belgian to make a slip. Benzema. Casemiro, lovely ball to Benzema. And here's Marcelo. Isco, Vinicius. Benzema screaming for it on the far post. It's cleared by Gerard Piqué. Real Madrid had options there, Michael.
Straight, Isco. 100%, always, because everybody wants to go in and help the keeper. You wait 1 second and you play backwards. Isco was completely free.
Here's Leo Messi. Finds Griezmann. Griezmann returning it to Messi. Messi to Alba. Alba cuts it back. Griezmann. Well, if Kroos enjoyed a chance at the other end, that's the most clear-cut chance so far, Michael.
Yeah, we just saw what we were talking about the other end. Instead of playing close to the goal, Alba, like he's always doing, normally it's to Messi, this time to Griezmann.
And he did like
it backwards.
He did like you said. He paused a beat just so that a tiny people would run in front of him, and the cutback. Frankly, it probably should have been a goal.
Yeah.
Well, Griezmann's on the penalty spot, totally alone, nobody within a metre of him.
That's what he dreams of, Simon, right?
He had time to pick his spot and place it, but he placed it over the crossbar.
But this is normal because the defenders, they want to go and help their goalkeeper. And sometimes one of them forgets that should be looking at the penalty spot as well.
Whistles and jeers from the home crowd. Free kick given in favour of Real Madrid as Isco just adjusts his footwear. Carvajal finally Benzema. What an intelligent player the Real Madrid #9 is. Fede Valverde, Benzema, here's Carvajal. Carvajal looking for Vinicius. He chests it down and he's surrounded by red and blue shirts. Still Madrid. Press. Forward. Marcelo keeps it in play. This is Isco. Marcelo. Back to Kroos. Casemiro to Isco. Marcelo once more. Vinicius Jr. Trying to link with Isco. Problems for Piqué, but it comes out all right for him. Messi. Back to Piqué again.
Oh,
he clears, but there's nobody there, Gerard. Only Fede Valverde. Casemiro now to Toni Kroos. Madrid sense this could be the moment. Vinicius loses out. Busquets looking just to find a bit of tempo. He finds Frenkie de Jong.
Nice from Mateo. The flag went up underneath us. It was offside. Mateo ignored it. Wants the game to run. We like that.
Griezmann to Busquets. Umtiti. We're halfway through the first half. De Jong back to Busquets again. Madrid, after another spell of attacking play, quite happy to sit back and watch Barca on the ball. Certainly not in any danger areas. Here's De Jong. Vidal. Messi leaves it. Semedo has to track back for it. Artur Melo to Messi. Frenkie de Jong. Now Jordi Alba. Cuts inside. Gets the return from Griezmann. Busquets. Griezmann back to De Jong. Everybody except Benzema behind the ball, and he's behind it too now. Artur Melo. Semedo. Artur again.
Simon, lots of possession, but it's not as if they're either penetrating or really making Real Madrid run to cover and tiring them out too much, yet, at least.
Messi to Semedo. Semedo unsure which direction to take. Artur. Well, Vinicius was right behind him. Here's Umtiti. Busquets.
Possession is very good, but sometimes you need a third man to make the run. If we remember the goal scored against Napoli, you had one going as a third man because they're playing around. But sometimes when you play from the first to the second, the third needs already to make the run. So you can play him and play on one touch, not on second or third or fourth.
And then his teammates off in the fullbacks, isn't it? Alba, and that was Semedo, third man running in Napoli to make it into the box to cross for Griezmann.
Well, Michael, you yourself called it a chess match. That's exactly what it is out there. There's Messi. Good work from Casemiro. Cruz returns it back to Carvajal. It's been a long spell of possession from Barcelona, but no threat at all. Marcelo. Inside to Benzema. Sergio Ramos. Casemiro. Casemiro again. Carvajal and his Fede Valverde. Lovely combination with Carvajal. Valverde's cross! And Karim Benzema a whisker away from getting on the end of that.
It was Michael's point about the other end when Griezmann played one-touch football. Here, twice in the last 5 minutes. Whenever Real Madrid play one-touch football, they carve Barcelona open. That's the recipe for more chances.
Yes, for both of them. It's okay to play the possession on 2 and 3 touches, but if you don't sometimes change the pace of the ball, not of the running, of the ball, you can only do that by playing on 1 touch and have a run from, like we call it, the third player,
man run.
or some third man, or even the fourth.
I've just seen the replay of the first chance of the game. That one lifted over the crossbar by Karim Benzema. As Barcelona take their turn through Frenkie de Jong. Nice little mazy run. He finds Artur. Messi. Messi. The rebound comes to Artur. Ramos goes down. Free kick given in favour of the Real Madrid captain.
Do you know, Simon, during the midweek there was a flurry of really interesting interviews. One of them was Frenkie de Jong talking to Simon Cooper in the Financial Times. He said 2 things that were really clear as we look at what doesn't look like much of a foul being replayed there. He said, I like to play left midfield and to be able to burst. And he said, my task is to create more chances and score more goals by the breakthroughs, like we saw for Barcelona down at Betis.
Messi. Oh, that's a fine challenge from Carlos Casemiro, but he didn't quite get the support he needed. Jordi Alba backheels it. Messi. Griezmann. De Jong calmly to Artur. Melo. Very, very horizontal from Barcelona. Fede Valverde gets a touch. Rafa Varane clears. Busquets. Appealing to the referee that haven't come off his hands. Meanwhile, it's Vinicius. Cuts it back to Benzema. Cruz. Well, they're getting closer, Michael.
Are you going to say I'm right, Michael? Because we've both groaned. When the ball is available for Semedo to overlap and do exactly what you've been advising, he's 10 years too late in anticipating.
Yeah. And when he wants to go, it's a minute too late.
I'm sticking with 10 years.
Mateo off having words with Samuel Umtiti, who then speaks to Benzema. I mean, there's no question of a handball from the replay we've just seen. And if there was a foul by Umtiti, the advantage played was a good one. Here's Griezmann. Semedo. Busquets. It's returned to Gerard Piqué. It's kind of ebbing and flowing, this game, isn't it? A period of Long possession from Barcelona, then a quick break from Madrid, but it's Madrid who look the sharper, I have to say, and their chances starting to look a bit more dangerous for the visitors. Here's Artur Melo, though. That's a decent ball into Vidal. Now Griezmann. Griezmann wide to Messi. Leo Messi with his first shot on target, the first save for Thibaut Courtois. Not the most complicated one the Belgian shot stopper has ever had to make.
Good run from Vidal down the middle there. Leave the ball in one touch. Messi coming. And suddenly they create a chance out of
very little.
Very, very little, yes.
It's Dani Carvajal to Fede Valverde. Carvajal again. Toni Kroos. Looks for Isco. Scurrying presence in midfield. Marcelo returning the ball to the player from Malaga. Kroos with a typical cross-field ball. Collected skillfully by Carvajal, supported here by Benzema. Now Varane. Combines with Valverde. It's played back to Carvajal. This is Kroos. Varane again. Casemiro joining in. Now Ramos. Marcelo outside him. That's the option Ramos takes. It's a good 1-2. Marcelo's cross. It's a little bit too firm. And a free kick given for the challenge by Benzema on Jordi Alba.
See the replay. It's the tiniest of touches. I think Matthew's been gently generous there. Now this is the opportunity when Vidal, if he'd had Messi running outside his other side, you'd bet that that was a goal. Griezmann did the right thing in feeding Messi off his right foot from that angle. You're right, Courtois wasn't stretched.
There's Messi, Marcelo shadowing him. Griezmann looks for the return pass, can only hit it as far as the boots of Rafa Varane. Fede Valverde taking it off Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba on a yellow card. Play waved on. Artur Melo. Now Frenkie de Jong. Busquets. I've got a feeling the home fans think Jordi Alba should be getting a second yellow there, Graham.
Valverde's in a word with Mateo, and to my eyes, we support the referees here at La Liga Television, but that was more of an offence than the one Alba was booked for. To not give a foul is crazy.
Lovely run from Semedo. Marcelo getting there, defending well. Isco. That ball seemed to go out of play, but it's adjudged to have stayed in. Carvajal. Isco again. Now Marcelo. Toni Kroos. Vinicius Junior. Well, it manages to get away from Semedo. Piqué with the block. It comes to Vinicius Junior again. Does well to cut it back to Marcelo. Marcelo finds the head of Benzema.
It looked like it was.
It did look again, didn't it? Carvajal's cross. Benzema rises, can't link with Vinicius. And Umtiti plays the ball wide left to Griezmann. Intelligent ball from him. Artur Melo gets away from Kroos. Artur. Oh, we can't find the finish. What an opportunity.
What a save.
And what a fantastic save from Thibaut Courtois.
Why was Kroos running away from him when he knows that Artur is one of the more pedestrian footballers? He gave the Brazilian the chance to flick it over Courtois.
There we see again. He collects it. Kroos makes a slight effort.
And goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's
That's really strange, huh?
Kroos made a mistake. He had to cut across Artur.
And as we see Jordi Alba's earlier challenge on Fede Valverde. There's no attempt to play the ball there. He's got away with one.
Yeah, because another thing would have been if he had cut in front of him then. Yeah. Maybe the last man. But
the one thing is we give a garland of flowers to Courtois for yet another fabulous one-on-one save.
Either way, it's a corner for Barcelona. The home fans in the Bernabeu showing their feelings. As the little fella takes it, it's headed away by Benzema. De Jong to Semedo, and back to Ter Stegen. Under pressure from Vinicius there. Semedo. Alba. He looks round at Arturo Vidal and has words with the Chilean. You've got to be a brave man to do that.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong conversation between two teammates. I know who I think's going to win the conversation.
Umtiti finds Sergio Busquets, square to Gerard Piqué. Artur Melo. Umtiti again. Artur avoids the pressure from Benzema. Finds Semedo. And here's Messi. Piqué. Busquets to Umtiti. Griezmann leaves it nicely. Vidal. There's Messi. Messi's cross, headed clear by Rafa Varane, and Isco should keep it in play. No, he doesn't. And it's a throw to Barcelona. Bruno, we can see Zinedine Zidane and Quique Setien out there. Who's the happiest, do you think, with 10 minutes to go?
I think they both look quite calm. Quique Setien did say in the build-up to this game that he wanted to enjoy this game, and he certainly, at least, doesn't look like he's struggling too much. It's Eder Sarabia's number 2, who again looms out of the dugout here, who's doing all the shouting, all the screaming. He's the most vociferous of the two, but both Zidane and Quique Setien look quite satisfied for now.
A lovely little turn by Messi. Vidal finding Griezmann. His shot blocked down by Carvajal. And Casemiro there to clear up, and it's an intelligent ball out to Isco. Isco finding Vinicius. Vinicius, Benzema with him. Vinicius taking on Piqué. Isco making an effort to get there, and Vinicius with a weak attempt that Ter Stegen collects very, very comfortably.
That's lack of knowledge, because Gerard Piqué is world class, but at 33, Vinicius could have put it beyond him and run and asked Piqué, do you want to come with me? Can you catch me? Will you challenge me? When there was tons of space in behind, the Brazilian had to go wide and fast.
But that was what we're talking about. He still needs to learn is when he comes into the last 16, you know, when he sees the goal there, and he has to be a little more decisive. But some of the other things, yes, you cannot learn, because speed, or you have it or you don't.
It's Artur Melo for Barcelona. Now Gerard Piqué. Vidal. Umtiti.
You know, you talked to Bruno, Simon.
Oh, lovely ball over the top. Leo Messi. Messi, Courtois with a point-blank save. Messi from just on the penalty spot. Magnificent work once again from Thibaut Courtois.
Varane did so well, Simon, because the ball looked as if Messi was on his own. Varane cut about 1.5 meters just to make it difficult for the Argentinian to bend it round Courtois as he would normally have done. Just big kudos to Varane there.
But here we saw Messi make the run. Great pass as well. But sometimes we need to do that. You need to go away to create space for you and then go.
The third save from Thibaut Courtois this evening. Benzema does well. Marcelo looks up, cuts it back for Isco, gets away momentarily at least from Vidal. Marcelo. It's Cruz. Casemiro. Carvajal bringing the ball under control. It's straight to Busquets, who avoids the attentions of Fede Valverde. Goes down, wins a free kick. One or two home fans unhappy, but Materialov has no doubt.
My point, Simon, that you were chatting to Bruno about which coach is happier. Oh, he's close, you can see them, and Setien's plan is working nicely enough. But for Zidane, I wonder if he's happy with the conservatism, the control of four in midfield that he's opted for. I absolutely believe that he has an option, second half, half-time, whatever he chooses, to get three up front, properly three up front, and make it much more difficult for Barcelona to come high up the pitch.
Gerard Piqué. Semedo, Ramos quickly across, Semedo outpaces him. Now what can Semedo do? Turns it back to Vidal, what a block from Carvajal. De Jong, really bad pass. Messi pulls up as he sees Vinicius collect the ball in disappointment there.
Great pace and great defending of Varane. Huh?
Varane is on magnificent form this season, isn't he? Oh, that's a lovely ball to Vinicius Junior. He's got another chance of taking him. Ter Stegen cuts it back towards Isco. It's not a good ball. The clearance comes to the feet of Cruz. Busquets throws everything at him. It's played out to Griezmann.
It's one of those, there's an old-fashioned saying in Scotland, he can't do right for doing wrong.
Yeah.
He did the right thing there, he just did it badly. As, in fact,
this showed very well what Vinicius is very good at and what he still needs to improve a lot.
Everything in the one movement.
But we have to keep reminding ourselves he's 19 because he shows such confidence on the ball. And all that confidence seems to leave his body as soon as
he's not afraid. He's not afraid of
he does it again.
mistakes.
He does it again, and he does it again.
It's not easy to play in these stadiums, Bernabeu, Camp Nou, especially not at 19. Older players than him has had problems.
Absolutely.
They get scared. I mean, literally, they get scared.
Semedo on the ball for Barcelona. Returning it to the halfway line where Gerard Piqué is waiting. Piqué in absolutely no rush. Samuel Umtiti. Piqué again. Pinks one over the top towards Semedo. Marcelo intercepts. Vidal collects, returns it to Piqué to start again. Here's Busquets. Messi. Semedo inside to Vidal. Sees the clearest option, which is Jordi Alba wide on the left. Alba cuts in, finds Vidal. Now De Jong. Busquets to Messi. Cruz and Vinicius and Marcelo shadow him. He finds Semedo. Now it's out to Melo. Busquets. After her again. So comfortably turns away from his fellow Brazilian Casemiro. Messi gets the return ball, doesn't quite get it. De Jong, arms wide, appealing. Materialov, the referee, unmoved.
Michael won't be impressed. Barca missed a third-man move there. When Messi clipped it into Vidal, Semedo this time was on the run. So Vidal had to lob it over, and he missed it. He didn't see it.
12, 13 players in nothing. You have to play wide there. A run from a fullback.
And this time, the Portuguese saw the run. The Chilean didn't connect with it. That's the downside.
Free kick given in favour of Real Madrid. Artur takes his own sweet time in returning the ball. Toni Kroos goes over and tells Isco, I'm putting this one in play. As we watch Leo Messi's chance and Thibaut Courtois' fine stop. The ball hit surprisingly close to the Belgian keeper by Messi on that occasion. As Kroos swings in the free kick. Busquets greets it. Carvajal gets the better of Alba now. Benzema to Valverde, Casemiro to Varane. Varane's cross. overhits. Goal kick.
That tactic, Simon, where Barcelona put a really, really high line for free kicks coming into the box, is one that works well because it means Stegen doesn't have to come a crowd of players, and you beat it only when Madrid had all their good headers of the ball up in a line with the Barca defence. You have to be arriving onto the ball into space. Madrid didn't plan that very well at all.
We're into the final minute of what's been a tense and cagey first half, but with opportunities for both sides. Casemiro goes down. Play continues. And finally, the referee calls a halt to things.
Artur had a point. Casemiro was the one, if there was a foul committed, it was Casemiro committing it. Artur looked round at Mateo as if to say, well, what the heck, ref? And I think Mateo stopped it because, you know, it's not a head injury, so he didn't have to stop play. I think he stopped it because he knew he'd missed the foul.
Well, Casemiro on his feet, looking like a man who's just been winded. And I'm sure will be able to continue without too many problems. Ball back in play at the feet of Gerard Piqué, who finds Samuel Umtiti. The 45 minutes are now up. That's a neat, mazy run from Umtiti. Alba, and no time for any more. Jordi Alba and Carvajal with a very sporting embrace after the double yellow card incident. That's nice to see, Graham. Michael,
yeah.
How do you sum up the first half? Who's in charge?
Well, that's a good, very good question. I think Madrid started the better, but then we saw some large moments of possession but always in midfield, not creating so many chances. I think maybe Madrid had that the most, but then Messi sudden out of nothing receives the pass from Busquets, and he's one-on-one with Courtois. So, and also Artur, no? So in the end, I think a draw after first half is okay.
The clearest chances coming from Barcelona, but Real Madrid looking the more impressive of the two. I think we'd agree.
Agreed, and those chances you can name their denomination. Because the coaches have been conservative, because the game is packed in midfield, the ball over the top and the runs through are the ones that have given us the excitement.
The half-time score is Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 0 from the Bernabeu. We'll be back for the second half of the Clásico, just under 15 minutes time. Welcome back to the Santiago Bernabeu. We're waiting for the players to return to the pitch for the second half of El Clásico, the second El Clásico of the season. No score after 45 minutes, just as there was no score in December in the Camp Nou. It's been a cagey affair. It's been, Michael Laudrup, you called it a chess match. Who's impressed you in the first half? Because for Real Madrid, I thought Karim Benzema, who had the first chance of the game, which he lofted over the crossbar, has been very proactive, very sharp.
Yeah, he is. But when we're talking about Benzema, there's one big problem. When he's inside the box, he's very dangerous. But the problem is he wants to go out, to drift a little. Where he's also a very good player. I think you said he was a very intelligent player. I agree. But when he goes away from the box, there's no one in there.
Yeah.
So that's also one of the things I think about Real Madrid. Maybe they should think about if they want to continue playing like this, or add one more up front. It could be a Gareth Bale, so at least he could go in there when Benzema is going away.
Real Madrid haven't been abusing those crosses into the box that we've seen so often this season, however, have they? They've tried to play the ball under control into the Barca area a bit more.
Yeah, also because I think they, with Piqué in there, again, it's only Benzema in there to do something in the air. So I think that's maybe the reason why.
Okay.
Michael's the genius, I'm the chippy Scotsman, but I've got a bee in my bonnet about exactly what he's talking about. Jordi Alba is running out of puff. He's been out, he's been injured, he's back early. He's also booked. So when Michael talks about support for Benzema in there and one more in the air, go 4-3-3. So whether you bring on Lucas or whether you bring on Bale or Mariano, test Alba, give Benzema support, go to 4-3-3, trust that Barcelona do not have the pace of movement of the ball with a four in midfield to exploit your three, or allow Carvajal or Marcelo to come into midfield to equal the numbers. But go 4-3-3 in the Bernabeu, 2 points behind Barcelona, test Barcelona's left back, and if they have to change Alba, Junior is somebody you're happy as rumoured to see coming on. Zidane has to look at that option. It's screaming out from both a tactical sense and in terms of what Benzema needs, as Michael pointed out.
We're seeing some fantastic images of both Benzema and Leo Messi looking massively frustrated at times in the first half, as the players now in the tunnel, and Sergio Ramos and Sergio Busquets leading the two teams out onto the pitch for the second half. Leo Messi's had a couple of chances and was unable to really test Thibaut Courtois. Made it a bit too easy for the Belgian, perhaps.
But Messi, the chances he has, he's walking around. Great pass from Busquets, I think it was. A good run. Touch with the touch, put it down. And I was even surprised he did not score, but also great save from Courtois. Great save.
Courtois made 3 saves to Ter Stegen's 1. But I think it would be unfair to glean from that Barcelona have dominated. They haven't. It's been tight, all to play for in the second half. Graham, I was very rude to cut you off right at the end of the first half. Lovely little moment when Carvajal and Jordi Alba, who'd picked up yellow cards simultaneously, battling with each other. Carvajal seemed to raise his hand to Alba, and sportingly they gave each other a hug and left the pitch chatting to each other. Nice to see.
It's the double F. Sometimes ferocity overtakes friendship. They are friends, especially for La Roja, and they're two fierce competitors. Why wouldn't they lose their temper a little bit? Why wouldn't they make it up before halftime?
Well, it's Carvajal who intercepts that one, and Umtiti goes down, and referee Materilov gives a free kick in favour of Barcelona. That Cristiano Ronaldo, you can see there, watching in his former hunting ground. Boy, do they miss him. What club in the world wouldn't miss Cristiano Ronaldo?
And he's wishing he had his boots on tonight. And I'll swear to you, under Cristiano's watchful gaze, Umtiti slowed there to draw Carvajal in, just to see if he could turn them into a challenge that would bring a second yellow. Umtiti is no fool.
Bruno Begareccia, no changes made by either manager at half-time. Did you spot anybody warming up at half-time?
That's right, no substitutions, no one warming up during the half-time interval, no one warming up yet as this second half has got underway, but I'll keep you posted when the players do come out for the warm-ups in this second half.
Sergio Busquets on the ball for Barcelona, squares it to Samuel Umtiti. Alba returning it to the Barca centre-back, now De Jong. Slightly wild one for Busquets. Battles to win it back from Isco, his Griezmann. Frenkie De Jong. Gerard Piqué. Bernabeu fans seem to have got a bit tired of whistling Piqué and haven't been too engaged really with the home side, who I think Zinedine Zidane was insisting they need the support of the 12th man. As Messi collects this, Messi gets into the area, the shot is blocked, Alba keeps the move going and wins a corner. That one coming off Fede Valverde, first corner of the second half to the visitors.
Every time Messi gets a ball close to the goal, you can hear, you can feel the people here.
Exactly, the groans, the heartbeat almost of the Bernabeu stopping. They're well aware of the danger. Leo Messi poses as he prepares to swing in the first corner of the second half. And Piqué was up for it, clattering into Rafa Varane. Samuel Umtiti trotting back. In fact, it's Varane, Ramos and Piqué who all clattered into each other. No harm done. Messi again on the ball. And brought down by Casemiro. Is going to see a yellow card, I believe, for that one. Certainly a free kick. No, it's the spray the referee's got out of his pocket rather than the card for Casemiro. But it could be a dangerous situation here. Casemiro catching Messi on the back of his heel.
But it's still an action that 6 or 16 months ago you wouldn't have seen Messi being caught by Casemiro. His decision making and his little acceleration away would have brought danger far closer to the penalty area. It's so strange.
Messi standing over this one. Jordi Alba with him. They're deep in conversation. Everybody up for Barcelona except for Nelson Semedo. It's played short. Messi whips it in now, headed clear by Casemiro. There's a chase for Frenkie de Jong. Isco cutting a lonely figure in white. Semedo back to Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
But this is the point. They think they've got every option covered, Simon. And if ter Stegen goes long, there's nobody quick enough to run over the top and nobody to hold the ball up like Suarez would. Let's see who wins the bet.
Is Semedo. Inside to Messi. Messi to de Jong. Jordi Alba. Griezmann. De Jong again. Gerard Piqué. Titi. Frenkie de Jong. Barcelona dominating possession in the first 5 minutes since the restart. Here's Messi. Cruz is on him. Messi supported here by Semedo. Twists and turns to avoid the attentions of Vinicius Jr. Now Gerard Piqué.
I have to say I'm a little surprised that I see no one warming up. That means that none of the two coaches they even planning to make changes and tactical changes.
I think probably both feeling fairly secure in the first half performances. Let's see if this changes as Vidal squares it for Frenkie de Jong. Messi wide to his right. Here is Messi. Finds Semedo. De Jong leaves it. Casemiro was sharp and aware of the threat. Here's Vinicius. Marcelo comes off Messi. Real Madrid throw on the halfway line. Marcelo wants to take it quickly, can't see an option. And finally plays it back to Sergio Ramos. Cruz. German struggling under the attentions there of Vidal in the end. Plays it back to Thibaut Courtois. Carvajal. Big flick on from Valverde to Isco. Goes down, the referee waves play on. Vidal. 3 white shirts around him. Cruz takes it off him, finds Benzema. Benzema head down, sprinting forward, plays it wide to Vinicius. Vinicius taking on Semedo, goes outside him, cuts it back, but Piqué was there to block. Here's Artur Melo.
Yeah, but he did well. I mean, 1 against 1 inside.
Yep.
Passes, tried to make the pass backwards. That is what we expect from him.
That's a free kick to Barcelona. To the left for Gerard Piqué to take.
Crowd trying to raise the Los Blancos, but again, ter Stegen left alone. I can't understand this. I think it's an error. I think he should be forced into errors rather than allowed to play the ball out like this. It's a respectable choice for Zidane to say, we will cover your options and pick the ball off first challenge or second challenge, but it's giving Stegen, who's a good passer, too much time to think and choose.
De Jong brought down there by Casemiro, the free kick given. Casemiro apologising to the Barca number 21. Here's Samuel Umtiti. Plenty of space for him to drive into. Plays it wide. Alba's cross headed away by Varane again, only as far as De Jong. And that was always going to be Casemiro's ball. Here's Cruz. Avoids the press from Griezmann. Finds Vinicius Junior. Benzema outside him. Benzema. Vinicius again. Can't control it. Goal kick.
Do you know what's fascinating there? Umtiti was the runner for the cross, and therefore when Real Madrid broke away, they were minus a centre-back, and it was Busquets filling in. Yet did White Shirts flood forward to support Benzema and Vinicius? No. By the time they reached high up, the Barca shirts were vastly in the majority. This idea of Benzema and Vinicius being isolated needs to be corrected by Zidane.
And Bruno, we've just seen Messi on the touchline having a chat with the Barca technical staff.
That's right, there Sarabia talking to Leo Messi, and then Messi getting the message across to Griezmann where he pointed to him to go into that central striker's role. So I imagine that's where that conversation, that was what they were talking about more or less.
Casemiro on the ball, finds Toni Kroos. Isco, now Ramos. Marcelo. Oh, that's a poor one. Griezmann and Rafa Varane, calm as you like, aware of the danger, outpaced Griezmann when the Frenchman looked as though he was through.
When you have fast players like that defending. I mean, you could play 1v1 because you know Varane will always win.
Casemiro, lovely ball into the box. Benzema. And Semedo takes it off his toes, but then gives it away to Kroos.
I was saying good defending, but then...
Yeah, blotted his copybook after doing brilliantly to prevent Benzema. But it is a corner for Real Madrid. Kroos takes it quickly. Marcelo. Now Isco. Isco tries a shot. Ooh. What a save from Ter Stegen. That was going in the top corner from Isco. Marcelo celebrates with him and congratulates him almost as if the ball had gone in the back of the net. Magnificent save from Marc-Andre Ter Stegen.
And once he touched it over, look at the first thing he did. We're looking at the replay now. He's saying, why were they allowed to take it quickly? Why was Isco unmarked? But principally it was they were dozing at the corner kick again. Ter Stegen remonstrated with his men. Wake up, you've done this before.
Magnificent save, but it has brought the Bernabeu to life. In comes the corner. Rafa Varane was up for it, and I believe it came off the head of Gerard Piqué. It's another corner.
Barca, nobody left up front. I'd never liked seeing that. Has to be an outball.
Kroos with the cross. Griezmann clears. Messi fails to connect. It comes to Marcelo. Marcelo turning away from Leo Messi. And overhits the return ball to Toni Kroos. Throw in to Football Club Barcelona. And already 11 minutes have gone in the second half. We're seeing a continuation of what we saw over the opening 45 minutes as we watch Isco's effort from behind the goal. Strong right hand from Ter Stegen. Magnificent piece of goalkeeping.
Yeah, it's a great finish, but also a fantastic save. I mean, also, I have to give credit to the two keepers here. They're really, that is still no goals.
Two of the three top keepers in La Liga and probably in the world right now. We'll include Jan Oblak of Atletico Madrid in that list. Lovely ball from Marcelo to Vinicius, and a fantastic challenge from Gerard Piqué. The home fans will complain, but Mateo Loff had a good view of it. That was well timed, the challenge from Barca's centre-back. Isco leaves the throw for Marcelo. Gets the return from Vinicius Junior. Does well to find Casemiro. He's going to try a shot. Didn't come off for him. But applause from the home fans who recognise that Madrid seem to have taken a step forward here. And I think Graham Benzema is following your advice and pointing to the necessity to put pressure on Ter Stegen.
But everybody else was asleep. Marcelo didn't know where he had to be, and he wasn't sure if he should be marking Vidal or not, to the extent that when the ball was chipped quickly over to Semedo, Marcelo didn't know whether he had to come and press or stay with Vidal, and he got yelled at by the touchline by Zidane to say, stay where you are. Stegen was quick there.
Here's Marcelo. Messi takes it off him. The flag goes up. It'll be a free kick. Messi disagrees. There's the gesture. And Quique Setien smiling almost as much as Mateo Laoff. Look at the replay. And Messi, no contact on the ball, catching Marcelo. Benzema finding Vinicius Junior. He's got Isco behind him. It's an intelligent ball to Cruz. Square to Casemiro, leaves it, but Griezmann was there sharply. Does really well indeed to get away from Dani Carvajal. Busquets, De Jong. Arthur to Messi, overhits it. Marcelo. Messi tried to win it back, but Marcelo was too quick. Isco. And Vidal. I think he might have handled that. It's a yellow card, is it?
Simon.
No, it's still the spray.
Simon, I would never normally take issue with you, but I don't like the phrase Messi trying to win it back. That's twice in 5 minutes now. Marcelo has walked away from him. Now, you may be the greatest player of all time, but if Marcelo is walking away from you, you need to work harder. Messi or no Messi. Simple as that. And I think Bruno might tell us there's activity down on the touchline, Simon.
Yeah, Bruno, who's warming up?
There are 3 players warming up for Barcelona right now. Ansu Fati, Rakitic and Martin Braithwaite.
Marcelo on the ball. Whips the cross in. Collected comfortably by Ter Stegen. I'll tell you what, Michael, if once again it was the spray that confused me, not the yellow card, 99% of people in the Bernabeu were confused equally, and certainly felt it
because
should
he was really immediately put his hand down, and you got the impression, it's true, that it was a card.
That's a good interception from Busquets, but Marcelo's ball fails to find Carvajal. Griezmann. Varane having an impeccable performance this evening. There's Carvajal. Finds Vinicius, who leaves it. Toni Kroos. Square to Fede Valverde. Here's Carvajal forced wide by Umtiti. The cross comes in. Isco! Saved on the line. Mateo Laoff making absolutely clear that that didn't cross.
I think his linesman has said that they were waiting for the play to finish before the flag went up, so I think it's been invalidated.
There's the clearance, and Piqué clearly preventing that from crossing the line. Marcelo comes up against Arturo Vidal, Busquets and Piqué, side-footing it casually to each other. Here's Messi. Now Vidal. Messi again. Vidal overhits the return ball. Casemiro looking for Benzema. Fede Valverde. Messi was there to make it difficult for the Uruguayan, who wins it back. Here's Carvajal. Now Benzema. De Jong with the interception. That was going to the boots of Fede Valverde. Casemiro finding Benzema. Good advantage played. Valverde. Toni Kroos. Once again, the German lifting it and unable to make the ball dip. Ter Stegen urging the side on. Toni Kroos with a couple of attempts from a distance. As we see once again, Isco's header got away from Ter Stegen. Gerard Piqué struggles, but keeps the ball on the right side of the goal line. Zinedine Zidane urging the side on. Here's Piqué, back to Ter Stegen. Well, that's really poor. Carvajal sharp. Still Carvajal turns. Thinks about a shot. Looks for Benzema! Well, the chances are coming thick and fast now, and for the first time all night, Barcelona really struggling.
That's right, yeah. Well, they're struggling, but I also have to give credit to Madrid. They started really, really well in the second half, yeah.
I'll tell you what happened, Simon. Ter Stegen had time to make a pass. He was waiting for De Jong, as we look at the volley that goes over and should have gone in. Carvajal clever. De Jong showed for the ball. Ter Stegen didn't give him. Carvajal anticipated. Ter Stegen then took the decision to give the ball into a space where De Jong was off balance. Carvajal was racing forward, and Ter Stegen then apologised. Once the ball went over the top, he said, sorry, hand up to De Jong. I got that wrong.
Well, you've got to give Ter Stegen and those two Barca centre-backs, Umtiti and Gerard Piqué, kudos for being brave and repeating it, because it caused them a real shock there. De Jong to Busquets, who finds Messi. Second half, a little bit more of an open affair than the first. There's Frenkie de Jong for Barcelona. Alba making a run. Vidal. That's a poor ball. And Casemiro was there to win it, looking for Isco. Isco combining with Benzema. Here's Vinicius with a little bit of space. Vinicius. Still Vinicius. Benzema. Couldn't make the pass he wanted to Fede Valverde. Vinicius down in the penalty area. Referee Mateo with his back to that. He's not interested. Vinicius gets up, hobbling. And the referee insisting that play continue. It's Marcelo, still Vinicius in the Barca area. Now he's making a bit of a movement, and now Gerard Piqué goes across to have a word with him. Let's have a look again.
The ball is away from Vinicius. I interpret it as he knows it's not going to happen for him. He's going down without contact, and in that situation, an explosive player can sometimes get the benefit of the doubt. I have no issue with him asking the referee to take a look at it again. But in this instance, I think not only has Mateo read it correctly, it's within his textbook. He always says, he's always the one that asks for more robust football and a flow in the game. As you pointed out, he immediately said to Madrid, stop arguing, play on.
Braithwaite's going to come on.
Martin Braithwaite about to come on for his Clásico debut for Barcelona. We saw him last weekend against Eibar, and he impressed his Griezmann. Frenkie de Jong to Leo Messi. Sergio Busquets. Barcelona need a spell of possession. I think they've been weathering the storm for a lengthy period here. Artur holding on to the ball, finds Busquets. Busquets looks for Messi. Messi, still Messi, and it's Fede Valverde taking advantage of Carvajal's block. Busquets, what a challenge from Casemiro. And finally Carvajal.
But if we look at the 50-50 balls, I think Madrid is winning 8 out of 10 at the moment or in the second half. That's not tactically, that's determination.
It's desire, determination.
And we all have to admit, Carvajal takes a huge risk there in how he tackles the greatest player on the planet. He's down, he's using his feet, and he comes away with the ball against Messi, preventing, I'm sure, a goal.
Well, final instructions being given just in front of the Barca dugout to Martin Braithwaite. Who do we expect him to replace?
Well, that's very interesting. If they will play with 4-3-3 or it's Griezmann.
Chaps, it has to be Vidal.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
In mine as well.
The game's going.
I mean, but we will see now what Setien really wants to do, because he wants to go for the win, 4-3-3. Also to put pressure with the speed of Braithwaite, no?
Well, we're going to see it immediately, Michael, because as soon as the ball's out of play, Braithwaite will be coming on. What a moment for him. Busquets to Vidal. Loses it to Ramos. Isco. Now Casemiro looking for Benzema. Semedo intercepting and going up bravely forward. It's a throw. Marcelo wants to take it quickly but can't.
It's not cheating by Semedo. When Benzema leaps, he comes down on Semedo's leg, and I think he knew that he wasn't ready. If the play went on, he was going to be exposed.
And the substitution is going to have to wait. Vinicius looking for Benzema. Marcelo comes off Artur Melo. It'll be a corner for Real Madrid.
And they've said again down below us, Eder Sarabia has said to the fourth official, we don't want to make it during the corner.
Toni Kroos to take it. And a couple of Madrid players warming up too. We'll ask you about that after the corner. Kroos places the ball. It's an in-swinger to the far post. Nodded back in by Carvajal. Ramos, it's blocked. And the whistle goes. A free kick to Gerard Piqué, Barcelona. He leaves it, and the change is made, and it is Vidal to be replaced by Martin Braithwaite. Vidal takes his time walking off. What a moment for Braithwaite. And Vidal leaves the pitch looking disappointed, as you might expect. And Marcelo shadowing Braithwaite, who's got a serious look on his face. Bruno, who's warming up for Real Madrid?
Lucas Vázquez, Mariano and Luka Modric are the three players for Real Madrid.
And Braithwaite with an immediate impact! And it's cleared off the line by Rafa Varane. What a dream start that nearly was. Braithwaite wins it back off Marcelo. Gets away from Casemiro. Ramos misclears and Thibaut Courtois clutches it to his chest. What a dream start that was.
Well, it's a great start, and at least we can also see what Setien wants. He wants to use the speed.
Carvajal inside. Gets it back from Casemiro. Isco. Benzema. Isco again. And the cross is not a good one, but Vinicius will keep the move going. Now Benzema. Vinicius Junior again to Toni Kroos. Kroos returning it. Vinicius in the area. Can he make the right choice? Oh, he does! It comes off Gerard Piqué. Vinicius Junior makes the breakthrough. 1-0 to Real Madrid. Whoever doubted the young Brazilian won't be doubting him now. Marcelo on his knees, as if praying to the gods of football. Vinicius Junior has his moment. Ter Stegen absolutely frustrated there. Just as Braithwaite came on and seemed to make the difference, Madrid break up the other end. And look at that celebration. Casemiro, like the big brother Vinicius Junior probably always wanted, hugging him, congratulating him. Look at the space he's got. It deflects off Piqué, and Ter Stegen doesn't have a chance.
No, again, very good movement from Vinicius, and we will never know what had happened if Piqué did not touch the ball. But it's a goal, and I think it's a gift. It's a bonus for Vinicius for the game he has had so far. Said that just 2 minutes ago, we just saw Braithwaite coming on and see what he can do in this game, almost scoring the first goal.
It reflects on what Michael said earlier, Simon. Vinicius, no matter whether he feels he's having a bad night, whether the crowd are on his back, whether a teammate tells him off, he's made of industrial rubber. He will be up. He will be looking for space. He'll be taking a shot on goal. That's crucial in a 19-year-old around whom there's a cloud of doubt. You have to keep on it, and not everybody does.
Well, that's certainly woken the Bernabeu up. 18 minutes to go, Madrid with their noses in front, and here's the man himself, Vinicius Junior again. He finds Toni Kroos. Kroos turns again. Here's Marcelo. Vinicius does well to return it. Kroos to Isco. It's sharper now from Madrid. They've got the centre blood in their noses. It's a fine interception from Semedo, however. Busquets gets a second opportunity. Finds Leo Messi. Messi looking for and finding Braithwaite, who returns it to Messi. Never the worst of options. Artur Melo Messi. Braithwaite to Busquets. How can Barcelona respond to this? Jordi Alba. Frenkie de Jong. Griezmann. Again, long possession on or around the edge of the Real Madrid area. Gerard Piqué finds Artur. It's caught. Gets up and keeps hold of it. Finds Busquets. Here's Messi. Oh, what a fine challenge by Casemiro. Carvajal collects the loose ball. Avoids the challenge of Busquets. Finds Vinicius again. Brilliant challenge. Cruz headed away by Umtiti. Brilliant challenge from Gerard Piqué. Absolutely last-ditch defending. Barcelona caught on their uppers there. Here's De Jong. Now Messi. The flag stays down. Messi. Marcelo with a challenge. Rafa Varane there. I'm sorry, but in the Bernabeu over the last few years, rarely have we seen that.
I don't understand. How can Messi be so alone? Madrid is winning 1-0. Absolutely alone.
He's clever. He was miles offside. De Jong was allowed to run. Isco let the Dutchman go. Yeah. Messi ran back onside, swiveled, and De Jong let go. But he was outrun by Marcelo. That we've never seen.
Here's Rafa Varane. It was a great piece of work by Busquets. Somewhat marred by a dreadful pass. Cruz to Isco. Looks for Benzema. Now Casemiro. Benzema again. Isco. Lovely return ball. And Umtiti forced to give away another corner. And this, you sense, is Real Madrid's moment.
I think the roar for that tackle, both the Casemiro on Messi and then Marcelo getting in on him, was almost as big as the roar for the goal that was deflected in off Piqué. They love seeing their team outcompete Barcelona and Messi, like we've just seen a replay of there. Marcelo, fantastic.
Dani Carvajal whips the cross in, and somehow Sergio Ramos and Benzema failed to put it away. Artur Melo. Barcelona reeling.
Piqué left
Jordi
winger.
Alba.
Look at that, Simon. Piqué left winger.
Taking on Carvajal. Can he get away from him? And Carvajal sticking to him like a limpet. The flag staying down. Here's Braithwaite trying to get outside. Casemiro gets the cross in. Griezmann, I think, saw his intentions late. Thibaut Courtois saw them early. Isco. Well, this has woken the Bernabeu up and woken the 22 players down on the pitch up.
Piqué trotting back. That run down the left as next to finished him. He looks either in agony or exhausted.
And Zinedine Zidane's called Luka Modric.
Thibaut Courtois. Sensing this is the moment for Real Madrid to really continue on the front foot. Lovely ball to Vinicius Jr., the man of the moment, taking on Semedo. Which way is he going to go? Semedo holding his ground. Here's Cruz. Fede Valverde. Isco. Toni Kroos. Carvajal. Strong run from Valverde. Benzema. Casemiro. Varane to Ramos. Gets it back from Isco. Here's Cruz. Valverde all alone on the right wing. Casemiro finds him. Carvajal, a lovely flick to Benzema. Madrid enjoying themselves now. There's the return. Oh, and Vinicius with a back heeler. Benzema keeps it going.
Flag up.
Flag up for offside, but Real Madrid playing with such poise and confidence right now.
Carvajal is playing right back, right midfield and right winger.
And also, it's true, as we see, the substitution now of the Ballon d'Or winner for the man who scored in midweek against Manchester City, Isco. What I believe we're seeing is no real effort from Madrid, Simon, to close this game down, to say 1-0 is we'll take it. We want to be 1 point clear at the top. 1 goal will do us tonight. They're looking to kill Barcelona off.
And Bruno, Zinedine Zidane having words with Vinicius Junior.
He was talking to Vinicius, who was making the most of the substitution to grab a drink of water. And I can also confirm that whilst the substitution is taking place, Quique Setien has called over 2 players, Ansu Fati and Ivan Rakitic, who are going to come on.
Brathwaite wins the throw.
You'd imagine that's Rakitic for Busquets and Ansu for Griezmann, you'd imagine.
Yeah, that would be the logic.
Throw to Barcelona. Semedo takes it, finds Sergio Busquets. Here's Umtiti. 11 minutes left for Barcelona to try and get back into this game against their old enemy. Modric pressing Umtiti. Kroos going into press. Piqué who plays it back to Ter Stegen. Final instructions being given for Rakitic. Again, Barcelona lose it. Modric leaves it for Valverde. No, he takes it himself. Valverde back to Dani Carvajal. Here's Casemiro. Ramos. The Bernabeu sensing it could be an end to 4 consecutive La Liga defeats in Clásicos. Real Madrid, if they can hold on, will go to bed this evening as leader of La Liga Santander. Marcelo and Semedo preventing Vinicius from getting away from him. It's a goal kick. And here's the change. Artur Melo replaced by Rakitic. Artur getting off the pitch somewhat quicker than Vidal did earlier. And Griezmann running off to be replaced by Ansu Fati. As we see once again Vinicius, the goal will probably go to the Brazilian, even though it was clearly the touch from Gerard Piqué that deceived Ter Stegen. And look at the response from Casemiro. As I said, delighted for, well, I called him his younger brother, whether that's the relationship, the embrace they shared after the goal clearly showed something really special between the 2 Brazilians. And here's Vinicius Junior again. And he'll be penalised for the little, almost unavoidable shirt tug, reflex shirt tug on Gerard Piqué. Busquets back to Ter Stegen. 9 minutes left on the clock. Real Madrid 1, Barcelona 0. Modric with the interception. Busquets finds Messi. Marcelo takes it off him, but Messi finds the loose ball. Messi again. First touch for Rakitic. Is Semedo. Rakitic. Piqué. De Jong. Alba making a run. Fede Valverde intercepts it. Modric clattering into Ansu Fati. And this time it's clearly the spray, no, Michael?
Okay, so
It's a free kick to Barcelona, much to the disappointment of Luka Modric. That's the channel, clattering into Ansu. What can Leo Messi produce here? Steely glint in his eyes as he observes the situation on the edge of the Real Madrid area. And it comes, there's Piqué! Well, he got his head to it, he found the space, he couldn't keep the header down, and suffers from his inability to hit the target there like a true striker.
it's a good chance, huh?
They've been doing that since they were 13 together. Piqué, Cesc and Messi in the junior team, coached by Rodolfo Morey, currently number 2 to Pachuela City. That team used to win every match with headed goals by Gerard Piqué.
Who is absolutely furious with himself, as we can see from that close-up reaction. Courtois sends it really long. Benzema gets there ahead of Piqué.
Lucas Vázquez prepared to come on.
Well, you said we'd see him today, Graham, as Modric collects this, spins away, finds Benzema, gets the return ball. Modric, and it's brilliantly defended again, although it falls to Vinicius Junior. Good save from Ter Stegen. Once again, referee Mateo Loff unimpressed, and it's a goal kick. Vinicius Junior asking the fans to help the Real Madrid cause.
In the last 5 minutes, Vinicius has robbed Artur, Semedo, and they robbed the ball to burst through on Ter Stegen. It was not a penalty. Ter Stegen got there first. But this man, since scoring, has been the electric cable that has sparked the crowd, sparked his teammates into action, and is eating up the clock because he refuses to allow Barcelona easy time on the ball. Chapeau, hats off to the 19-year-old.
Lionel Messi. Rakitic. Titi. Zinedine Zidane giving Lucas Vázquez his final instructions. Semedo misreading the flight of the ball, and who is it by the corner flag? Vinicius Junior. Cruz, a risky one. Casemiro under pressure from Messi, clears. Alba to keep things going. Here's Busquets. Gets away from Toni Kroos. Rakitic. Messi. Casemiro. Brought down by Leo Messi. And this time it's a card. It's a yellow card for Lionel Messi in the Santiago Bernabeu. And the little man doesn't like it, but he's got to take it. Brathwaite goes across for instructions as Fede Valverde will be replaced by Lucas Vázquez by Zinedine Zidane.
Standing ovation. I mean, this might not be peak Valverde, but they adore him here. He doesn't just represent threat to the other team, help from his teammates. He represents the spirit, the alma of this club and what they want.
Yeah, and also talking so much about all the midfield players, Pogba, and then you had one at home, and that's what people also like here.
Yeah, no question. Fede Valverde enjoying this breakthrough season at Real Madrid. Toni Kroos finally the man who's enjoying his breakthrough Clasico, on this occasion offside. Rakitic to Busquets. There's Jordi Alba, bustles over the halfway line. And it's easy to take the ball off Ansu Fati from Lucas Vázquez. Although Ansu doesn't give up. Vázquez returning it to Rafa Varane, who's been impeccable tonight. And Gerard Piqué pulled up for a fairly clear-cut foul on Karim Benzema. Here's Ramos. Well, Real Madrid, how they need this win tonight in the Clasico, and they've got just over 3 minutes to hold on to claim it. Quite frankly, although you hate to say these things, it looks like they're nearer to making it two than Barcelona equalising, although it's Piqué on the ball. He finds Ansu Fati. Brilliant defending from Carvajal. Fati ends up a crumpled heap on the floor. Lucas Vázquez inside to Modric. Carvajal back to Varane. Look at the space Marcelo's got here. Lovely orientation on the control from Marcelo. Benzema to his left. Here's Benzema. Lucas Vázquez. And that will be a free kick. The shot saved by Ter Stegen, but this time Mateo Loff not thinking of playing an advantage. And there's an opportunity here from inside the D of the penalty area for Real Madrid to expend their lead.
Pre-match, you asked Michael and you asked me, to what degree were we surprised about Marcelo? We both said defensively Marcelo probably doesn't have the armoury that Mundi does. One thing we have to say is that Marcelo is slimmer and leaner and has been better going forward these last few weeks when Mundi has been slightly strangely out of the team as he was against Levante. And tonight, it's one of the bets for Zidane that he's won. Marcelo hasn't been exposed, and there, as athletic as she was, maybe at 26, 27, looked up, chose the right option, helped create this fabulous opportunity for a second.
Captain's prerogative. Sergio Ramos says, I'm taking this one. He fancies it. It's not a penalty. But it's Ramos who assumes the responsibility. The whistle goes. Ramos straight into the wall. Benzema battling with Ansu Fati. It will be a goal kick.
Tell you honestly, from that angle, I was absolutely certain that was going to ping into Ter Stegen's right hand, top corner.
1 minute plus whatever time is added, which won't be much because there haven't been many stoppages. Just the substitutions. Can Barcelona find that one last effort? Messi, Rakitic, Messi again Casemiro with a crunching challenge. Alba, here's Busquets, Rakitic. It's caught from behind by Vinicius Junior. And what's the decision this time? Words. I think Mateo Laoz there showing a tremendous sense of the importance of the occasion and deciding that's a free kick and it's not a second yellow.
When was the last time we saw Ter Stegen coming forward? I honestly cannot remember ever seeing Ter Stegen come forward. Courtois, of course, helped score against Valencia at Mestalla in the last minute. In these circumstances, never seen this for Ter Stegen, Simon.
There is Ter Stegen making a run. Messi with what is by no means his most intelligent ever free kick. Courtois doesn't realise, I think, that a quick release may well have caught Ter Stegen with his pants down, as it were, but either way, with 3 minutes added...
Or maybe he saw Modric over there and said, no, he will not make the run.
He's not fast enough.
That's Busquets down, but it's a throw to Real Madrid, and Vinicius having words with Quique Setien, who clearly said something to him. Mariano comes on to replace Benzema. Benzema continues his non-scoring run, but boy, has he worked hard tonight. And whether this can be considered a reward for Mariano or not, it's been a massively frustrating season for him. Rakitic over the top. Casemiro can only find Alba. And boy, oh boy, do the home fans enjoy seeing Jordi Alba miscue that one into touch for a Real Madrid throw. Less than 2 minutes to go. Just in case you've been somewhere else for the last couple of hours, which frankly would be very difficult to understand. It's Real Madrid 1, Barcelona 0, and here's an opportunity to make it 2! What an opening minute in the Clásico for Mariano, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is that.
You have just seen a guy who was born nearer to the Camp Nou than the majority of the Barca players. Ignore Vinicius, who was arriving in the edge of the box. Ter Stegen to come near him, and finishes him. He's been playing all season when he hasn't had a sniff of the first team for 90% of this term. Cold-blooded finishing from the man born in Catalonia, but wearing a white shirt, and brought this stadium to its feet.
And we just have to say, I think it's okay. Madrid wins for the second half. More determination, more want to win the game.
Absolutely.
I think that has been the thing. More than tactically things or technically things, they've showed in the second half they really wanted to win this game more than Barcelona.
And thoroughly deserved to be 2-0 up with 25 seconds to go. Mariano in the celebration, wiping the tears from his eyes. What a moment. The two youngsters, Vinicius Junior, who's clearly part of Zinedine Zidane's plans, Mariano, who clearly hasn't been, It's been an unhappy season for him, but he comes on for the Clásico, doubles the lead. It's 2-0 to Real Madrid. The final whistle has gone, and Zinedine Zidane triumphs over Barcelona in La Liga, in the Bernabeu, for the first time. And you can see how much it means, Michael and Graham, to the Real Madrid players. Gerard Piqué sportingly going across to congratulate Marcelo and Casemiro and Sergio Ramos, also remembering to applaud the very few Barcelona fans who've made the journey here tonight. But quite frankly, in the second half, there's only been one team in it.
Well, yeah, it's understandable that a reaction like that. I mean, after losing 2 games, Levante Wednesday here against Man City, knowing that a loss today would mean 5 points behind Barcelona. 5 points and a half, or almost, because goal of every. So it's really understandable, the reaction after this win.
Absolutely in agreement with you both. And there are heroes all over the pitch for Real Madrid.
Heroes all over the pitch for Real Madrid. Disappointment for Barcelona. The final score in the Clásico, Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 0. And now we'll see if we can grab some words with the protagonist down there, Graham. It has to be Vinicius that we speak to, and we can see him hovering around. But this is Sergio Busquets. Sergio, a terrible disappointment for you.
Second half was a change. It was harder for us to get the ball out from the back. You know, Real Madrid got their fans on their feet, and from 1-0, that changed the game. In the second part, what happened? Why did you lose control of the second half?
Well, I think we had problems playing the ball out from the back, and obviously if Madrid hit you on the break, they've got all of the pitch ahead of them. But I think we caused them a threat as well. But the truth is, sometimes you make mistakes with certain balls, and that's what we did, and Madrid took advantage.
Do you think Madrid had more intensity than you in the second half?
No. I think in the first half we were dominating. In the second half, they improved. But I don't think it's a question of the physical aspect.
The last one is, why do you suffer so much when you don't have the ball, Barcelona?
Well, look, we like to have the ball. We think we've got the right players to hold on to the ball. We're not the most defensive nor the most physical team if you compare us to other teams in La Liga. But I think any match between 2 big clubs, the side who doesn't have the ball suffers. There's a long way to go in La Liga. We've got to look at the positive side, and we're going to continue.
Thank you very much, Sergio. That was Busquets analysing the game. We'll have a look around. Here's Vinicius coming to talk to us. Good evening. Is this your best night as a Madrid player?
No question. I've been working really hard, and I knew the right moment would come, and it did.
You were just electric. You had Toni Kroos finding you for a perfect pass for the goal.
Yeah, Tony gave me a lovely pass, and it came out for me, and
be honest, were you looking for the goal?
I was looking for the goal. It's not an own goal from Piqué. I'm claiming this one for myself.
What did your teammates say to you about the goal?
Well, that we have to continue like this. We have to play for ourselves and for each other and for the fans. It's the first win over Barcelona in the Bernabeu in a long time.
What a difficult week this has been. What a massive win for you.
Look, we've just kept our heads down and kept working. We know what the manager wants of us. We played well today and we've won.
You were talking a lot with the referee. What was the discussion with Mateo about?
Well, a lot of the players were talking to me, and they came over to tell me not to speak to me because I already had a yellow card. We have to continue in this kind of form and just celebrate and enjoy this one right now.
Why did you kiss your badge? What was inspiration behind kissing the badge?
Because I'm playing in the biggest club in the world, and that goal's made me very, very happy today. The words there of the main protagonist of today's Clásico, Vinicius Junior, the scorer of the opening goal, the goal that really broke the back of Football Club Barcelona's attempt to win their 5th La Liga Clásico in the Bernabeu on the trot. The second goal coming from Mariano, another protagonist who barely spent a couple of minutes on the pitch. Huge moment for him too. Huge moment for La Liga Santander. Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 0.